Look at the pose on the mannequin. It's like when you tell your toddler no to a packet of chips, he's like, oh, okay. Okay, so a couple of days ago, I did a video covering the lightsaber hilt, the dueling lightsaber hilt of Darth Vader from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Knowing full well that the latest catalog for the prop store's upcoming entertainment memorabilia auction was on the way. It's now finally been released, so we're going to react to some of the listings. One listing in particular, I used to own. And then I sold it a few years ago, and now it's going back under the hammer. There is another item which I don't know if it's fully legit, and that's why I do like doing these videos. I like to do my detective work to see if indeed these particular pieces are legit, or they could be something else, could be a very high-end replica. And again, this is not confirmation that these pieces aren't what they seem. I just sometimes know these pieces back to front. So in the case of this particular piece, I really want to delve into the nitty gritty of it and see if it is indeed, you know, what it claims to be. But we've got so many listings. We've got a lot of good stuff. We've got Ace Ventura stuff, a lot of Batman stuff, one particular piece from Batman and Robin that I used to own, and even some Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. Okay, starting off with the first piece. This isn't screen use per se, but this is something I get really fascinated about with how high a price tag these things can fetch. So Disneyland, Walt Disney World theme park's Goofy walk around character head costume. This isn't screen used. This is what a performer would wear wandering around Disneyland, expected to sell upwards of 20,000 USD. So they've dated it back to possibly originate from the 1990s or possibly even earlier. This detailed fiberglass head features a hand-painted beige face with 4 rubber whiskers, and this is a whole nother thing that I did not know about. A whole nother world of collecting where these pieces from Disneyland, original theme park costume pieces, would go for so much money. It's insane. I can only imagine what a Mickey Mouse head would go for. Because this is Goofy. Like, Goofy's up there, but Mickey and Minnie Mouse, you know, those are the OGs. But obviously the craftsmanship is beautiful, and the fact that it's from around the 1990s, they think, that's crazy. I just kind of wanted to mention that. I'm sure there's people out there that are well versed with this particular part of collecting. But yeah, this is something I didn't really know about that would exist or be on the prop store, but here we are. Okay, next up we got a piece from Hellraiser 2022, a film I actually don't mind at all. I actually really like Jamie Clayton as Pinhead, or the Hell Priest, Hell Priestess, but this is the Lament Configuration puzzle box, expected to sell upwards of 8,000 USD. Now, for the most part, the design has stayed relatively the same with the Lament Configuration box, but they've changed certain aspects, little details here and there, especially around the hard edge areas. I actually like it. I don't mind it. Much like the redesign of the Cenobites in that film, the box is actually pretty cool. Like, I even love the details there on that sphere piece there. Well, not sphere piece, the circular piece there. Just the little detailed leveled pieces where it looked like it could configure into a different shape. But then even these hard edge pieces here. Now, going along here, so there's something that we insert a rod. Is this like an insert piece? Let's have a look at what it's made out of. This ornate puzzle box is static and made of resin. It features a production-made threaded hole on one side. Okay, the box exhibits pitting and chipping of smaller components on the etch panel. So is this like for an insert shot where they've got it on a pole? We got some screenshots there, some very dark screenshots. So this is just solid resin. This isn't like a practical working one, which I'm assuming they made for the film, but a cool piece to have nonetheless. Okay, we've got a piece from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a film I haven't watched in a long time, but I have an absolute hoot with it, from 1988, my year of birth. That was a damn good year. So we have a screen-matched slim clown mask. So I don't know if this is one of Sean Clark's pieces. I'm not too sure, but estimated to fetch upwards of 50,000 USD. I love the designs of these clowns from the film. I think that's where a lot of the budget went when it came to the costumes, the special effects, the practical effects, and the look of the clowns as well is just so iconic and memorable. So if we go down here, this foam latex head mask display was purchased directly from the Cheetos. Are they the brothers? Okay, fabricated by the brothers for the use during filming. So those guys made the pieces for the film. The interior includes silken fabric around the neck to enhance presentation. The mask exhibits some expected signs of aging, including minor discoloration. So this hasn't been Tom Spinned, I'm assuming? It hasn't been restored or anything. I mean, look, it still looks in great condition for something that's 37 years old. Like, it does have cracking here and there, but that's just the nature of foam latex. But for foam latex, and for something that was probably, oh my God, that's really zooming in. For something that was probably soaked in sweat as well, I mean, it looks pretty good. Even the eyes, the detail in the eyes, man. Okay, so here's a piece where I'm questioning its authenticity. So we have a glove from A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, the remake with Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger. Estimated to fetch upwards of 40,000 USD. So here's why I'm questioning its legitimacy. After the remake came out, prop master Joe D. Mack, who made the gloves for the film, did a run of template gloves. So he utilized the templates that he used to create the screen use glove and offered high-end replicas, which is really cool. But there were certain changes made to the template gloves, even though he was charging 1,000 USD, which I don't know why you change it, but he said that he didn't want it to affect the value of the screen use gloves, which I think is a bit of BS. I don't think you necessarily need to change anything when people are paying that much money. However, I do know that on the replicas, on the template glove replicas that Joe made, he did sign the outside of the cuff. Now, this particular piece does indeed have a signature, an engraved signature on the outside of the cuff. Now, it says template number 2, Joe D. Mack. I do know on some of his other reproductions, he engraves replica. It just doesn't make sense that if this were a screen use glove, that he would sign and engrave the outside of the cuff. Why would you sign and engrave the outside of a prop knowing it's going to be on screen? It just makes sense to sign the inside of the cuff with the hinges there. So I don't know if this is one of his replicas. There's been a bit of back and forth on one of the Freddy Glove Facebook pages, people trying to figure it out. This glove has been doing the rounds for a while, but again, unless Joe himself has a look, I don't exactly know if this was used during production. Like the description says, it was made during production. This bladed glove is made of steel and copper attached to a leather gardening glove. The glove is fitted onto a custom-made hand display with intentionally distressed sleeve similar to that of Krueger's. The blades have been dulled. So the metal cuff around the wrist features template number 2, Joe D. Mack, engraved on the inner wrist. Production intentionally distressed the glove to appear aged. So production intentionally distressed. See, it doesn't really say it's screen used per se, but with an estimated price tag of that, you'd assume that yes, this was used during production. So I don't know. I'm going to have to probably do some more research. If you look at this screenshot here from Jameson Michael Knapp of Dark Dream Design, with him comparing his remake glove to Joe D. Mack's template glove, Joe signed the outside of the cuff. And this cuff has been signed on the outside. I don't know if the screen use gloves were signed on the outside and engraved. It's pretty stupid if they were, given the fact that it's a screen use prop and that could show up on screen. It just makes sense to sign the inside of the cuff or the inside of the leather glove. So I'm still going to do a bit more digging on this one, but we'll see how we go. Next up is a Scream 2022 production-made ghost face mask on a neat little bust with a hood, expected to fetch upwards of 10,000 USD. So masks supplied for filming were custom manufactured by Funworld. So it features black mesh, says Easter Unlimited, incorporated, made in China. So these the run that they did for Scream 2022. Man, I'm so far behind on my ghost face mask homework, like the facts and which ones were, which had a certain stamp and stuff like that. This is still a cool piece nonetheless. I don't know if it was screen use per se, but if it was just there during production as like a backup, that's still amazing nonetheless. Okay, we're getting into Spider-Man territory. Spider-Man 2 from 2004, one of my favorite sequels, not only one of my favorite comic book films. I really dig this suit. I think even though the Raimi suits as a whole are beautiful, I really think they perfected the suit in Spider-Man 2. So this is estimated to fetch upwards of 200,000 USD. Look at the pose on the mannequin. It's like when you tell your toddler no to a packet of chips, it's like, oh, okay. Now, if we zoom on in and take a look at the foam latex webbing, so yeah, it's starting to crack quite a bit, but I have seen a lot worse. Considering this is also stretched over a mannequin, because they do glue the webbing down while it's on a body form of Tobey Maguire. So when you take the suit off, it all kind of crinkles up, which makes sense. You know, it just makes for more of a form-fitting suit. I love the sub-dye, the screen printing they've done with the muscle shading on this suit. And it's great that it comes with everything. Usually, sometimes these suits get separated, pieces get separated. Sometimes you just get a face shell, sometimes you just get a lens. You get the mesh there. Oh man, I love it. It's such a timeless design. It's such a timeless suit. It still holds up. Yeah, that's amazing, man. Oof, those gloves are looking crunchy. Just the brick pattern, everything. It reminds me of the new Tom Holland suit we got, which is great. It's like a nice little callback to Maguire, Garfield. Okay, so once again, here we have the Star Wars Darth Vader Screen Match Hero dueling lightsaber. So estimated between 1 million to 3 million USD. Just insane. Absolutely insane. I just wanted to check once again and make sure that that was still the estimate that they had. And from what I can see, there is one bid. So current absentee bid, 500,000 USD. It is cool though that there are such HD photos now, like quality photos, video now for people that make replicas of these, you know, maybe to see details that might not have been seen before. I love stuff like that. So it's great for the replica community, people that build this stuff, people that love this stuff. Okay, we've got a piece from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 from 1993. A very funny looking Raph head where he's like, eh. So this is a Raphael head with costume components. Not the full costume, but it's cool that we get the samurai helmet as well. Estimated to fetch upwards of 8,000 USD. Not bad. Not bad at all. Take a look at these photos here. Look, I have seen a lot worse when it comes to these turtle costumes. And given the fact that these were made in 1992, 93, not bad at all. Like the mouth has copped a lot because that foam latex is moving a lot with the mouth movements from the puppeteers. Samurai helmet looks great, man. The details are sick. You got like brass wiring going around there. So like all that beautiful handmade detail. I'm assuming that's like a urethane rubber. You see the mesh there at the bottom of the mouth. So we got the feet. What does that say? Dobby. What the hell say Dobby? We got a tongue piece. Look at that. Blech. We've got a hand. So is it just one hand you get? And a pair of the upper thighs. Very cool. Okay, so you got all the fabric there. And a pair of eye castings? He looks half asleep. Oh god, that's nightmare fuel. I've always wanted to own a screen-used turtle piece, but like the piece that's going to be coming up that I used to own, it's made out of foam latex, so you've really got to invest in proper storage, a case, climate control. Look, you can try as hard as you can. Eventually, foam latex just will kind of just harden. It's such a risk as well. Okay, next up we have a piece that is from a friend of mine, Charles, a fellow collector. Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, Candyman / Daniel Robitaille's Tony Todd's bloodied costume. Expected to fetch upwards of 50,000 USD. One thing I always love about the look of Candyman, even though the films got progressively worse, was the look. And Tony Todd just rocked that look so well. And the coats as well. The coats look so damn good, man. The oversized shoulders and everything. Like Tony Todd was a big dude as well. But the fact that this comes with the hook as well, it's amazing. Look at the gnarly, chunky details of the hook being jammed in there. That's the one thing that always like gave me the heebie-jeebies, like the screws and the spikes that are just jammed in there with the hook. Love it. This particular scene here used to scare the bejesus out of me. I remember seeing this for the first time at a sleepover across the road from my parents' place. And this particular scene, when the hook goes through him and the blood squirts all over the girl, I was like quivering behind the couch. It was last week. Okay, we got a piece from Batman Forever. Pieces that I didn't know were made for the film. So this is Val Kilmer's underwater back gloves. The gloves are made of grey neoprene and include zippers across the inner wrist for a secure fit. Expected to fetch upwards of 5,000 USD. So they made like all neoprene gloves for the underwater scenes. That's amazing. Okay. Very damn cool. Like, I'm assuming they just didn't want to get the leather gloves wet, which makes sense. You know, it could damage them. And it just makes sense to have neoprene gloves. If it's just a water scene, I'm assuming these are one-off. And then those are urethane fins. Pretty sure they're urethane fins. Let's have a look. So this is part of the sonar suit at the end of the film. Very cool. Okay, we have another piece from Hellraiser 2022. This is Jamie Clayton's makeup appliance on a bust. Upwards of 5,000 USD. Not bad at all. Again, I dig the design of the Cenobites. They're not perfect. They're never going to live up to the designs of the Cenobites from the first two Hellraiser films. But this is still great, and this is in damn good condition. Designed by special effects group Russell Effects, this silicone mask features a sculpted gridwork of scars and faux pearl tip pins. That's another detail I like, that they actually used pins. Whereas you think about it, Pinhead, Doug Bradley, they're nails, so he should be called Nailhead. Nailed it. But these are actual pins, which is pretty cool. Nice little detail. Something I never even realized or thought about. But just the details as well, all mounted on a bust of Jamie Clayton. It's a sick piece to have, man. They also had other pieces. They had just a front face piece, but they also had a bust of the Chatterer up for auction, which you can also check out. Okay, we've got a piece from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. We've got Jim Carrey's Scream match floral shirt and costume, expected to fetch upwards of 15,000 USD. Quite the bargain, actually. Even though it's from the second film, you even get his Ray-Bans. Now, is there... Ooh, is that... True marks from Jim Carrey. Okay, so they've matched up the pattern there. So that red and black pattern there matches up, which is very cool. They've matched... Oh, yep, those leaves there. I love it when they do this. So that is very, very cool, man. Those pattern pieces all match up. Good on him for actually doing that. I just wanted to see if there was like a label, like a brand or something inside the costume. But I'm assuming this is all custom made. Okay, this is a very niche and interesting little piece. This is from Batman 89. Seated helicopter Joker Jack Nicholson model miniature. They have the helicopter up for auction. Not only can you get the Joker, you can also get one of his goons. So you can like complete the collection if you get all three and have too much money to throw around. But yeah, this is just a funny little piece to check out. And you see like the quirky little tailoring they got going on for him. Look at him. He's got a pole up his butt. I love that stuff, man. Like miniatures, there's just something so charming about them. Like I have seen Batman miniatures like this for the Batwing from 89, which is cool. Upwards of 10,000 USD. Not bad. Okay, we've got our final three. We have a piece that you know is always going to sell for a very high price, much like the Darth Vader lightsaber hilt from The Dark Knight 2008, Christian Bale's Cowl, expected to fetch upwards of 120,000 USD. And there's not really much else to say. These pieces are made of urethane, so you know they're going to last a very long time. In pretty damn good condition. I can only imagine how hard it can be to keep these things clean on set when they're pristine. They're supposed to be immaculate, and you got people constantly like buffing the cowls when Christian Bale's wearing them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hand marked R7 on its top interior. This cowl is made of black urethane and features a smooth finish. And that's it. Okay, our second last piece is a Batsuit from Batman 89. Exceptional quality Batman Michael Keaton Batsuit costume on display. This looks like a Tom Spinner piece possibly. Expected to fetch upwards of 500,000 USD. So let's check out if this has been restored by Tom Spinner. The display consists primarily of original components from 89. Foam latex muscle armor, marked Michael K11. Okay, that's very cool. Also, original other black leather gloves, customized with palm studs, rubber forearm armor. The boots are Nike Air Trainers, believed to be custom built for the film. Restored by Tom. Okay, there we go. The full costume was professionally mounted by Tom Spinner Designs to a custom display form, modeled around a Michael Keaton live cast finished in dark gray. There you go. So let's go through these photos here. Yeah, the costume looks great, man. I can only imagine what these pieces look like before restoration, because I've never really seen a pristine Keaton 89 suit out in the wild. Like, these things were rough back then, and now they're pretty damn rough. Like, they're pretty crunchy now. So take a look at the close-ups. There are the Nikes. Okay, there are the gloves. Fins are a bit bent, but that's fine. Better than nothing. The emblem, back of the emblem. Okay, so that's how the cape mount worked. You mounted the cape, and then the emblem had little posts that slotted in, which is very cool. And look at those heavy duty rivets, man. Like, that was a heavy cape as well. Best 20 Keaton. Michael Keaton. Oh, there's even a phone number. Ooh. Wonder if it still works. And our final piece is a piece that I used to own. So some of you may know I used to own a screen-used Robin costume from Batman and Robin. I purchased it end of 2019, paid it off, and at the beginning of 2020, I received it. And I knew I wasn't going to keep it forever because given the nature of foam latex and the harsh, sometimes harsh elements of Australian summers, the foam latex can get affected quite a bit. So I offered it to Julian's Auctions. It did not sell. Then a well-known collector picked it up. It was then on display in a museum in Las Vegas with one of Val Kilmer's sonar suits. And now it's going under the hammer at prop stores. So this head cast of Chris O'Donnell, I originally received from Bob Dullum. I cleaned it up, took a one-off mold of it, and then, bless you, and then cast up a clean one. Just because there are a few imperfections that I had to do body work on, made a trash mold, and then cast up this particular one. My only concern is, in the description, it doesn't have it stated that the bottoms are stunt bottoms and the top is an O'Donnell hero top. So I found out after the fact, I thought the entire piece was worn by O'Donnell, but the bottoms were worn by stunt double and the top was worn by O'Donnell, which is fine. Like, I'm glad that the top was worn by O'Donnell. The mask itself, if I show you a close up, and also the back is a bit worse for wear. So it looks like, because it's a two-piece neoprene, foam latex mounted over it, it looks like they've put it on a mannequin and it's stressed that piece there and that piece there. The mannequin I had this piece on, it was really tiny. Like the suit was essentially just sitting on it, 'cause you don't want to stress the neoprene. But if we take a look at the mask, so yeah, I cast that up, just cast it in like a flat gray. This was not screen used because the masks they used in the film were urethane, whereas this is foam latex. This is probably just like a test piece that wasn't screen used. That's why it doesn't have any wear and tear. It's pretty much pristine, and I very carefully spirit gum glued it onto the life cast. The only thing as well, in the description, it says, where's the eye mask? So the lot consists of a urethane domino mask. No, it is foam latex. So also it doesn't state that the bottoms are stunt because it has Chris O'Donnell's stunt double's initials in the bottom, but then Chris O'Donnell's initials in the top. So it is very cool nonetheless. The estimate is going upwards of 12,000 USD. I'll just say this. I broke even on it when I resold it, which is fine. It's better than, being in the negative. But man, it's going to be interesting to see what this one sells for. And it was just cool to see it once again. Like, I'm glad I owned it at one point. I got to do some great videos on it. I got to put my mate in the suit that had similar dimensions to Chris O'Donnell. So yeah, I'm glad I've got it. And whoever gets it, please take care of it because it is a beautiful costume. Like, as much shit as Batman and Robin cops, those costumes are immaculate. And there you go, guys. Those were some listings from the latest prop store auction. There is a shit ton more there. I will leave the link down below to the catalog. You can go through it, check it out. Anything that I didn't cover, give it a crack. I really do need to do my detective work a bit more on that Jackie Earl Haley remake Freddy glove. There's just a few details that just don't seem right. And given the fact that it could sell upwards of 40,000 USD and it possibly could not be what it seems, that is a bit of cause for concern. With that being said, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on some of these listings or other listings that I didn't cover that you saw that really stood out to you. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.